The only issue I've got really now is a problem that's progressively got worse, which is just brake judder, particularly on a firm braking. So I'm braking there gently, it's nice and smooth, there's no pulsing in the pedal, which would indicate it's not, to me, it's not a warped brake disc. But when I brake more firmly, which I'll show here, it probably doesn't show up on the camera, I'm getting a lot of vibration through the steering wheel and back through the pedal as well. So there's obviously something not right with it. I'll get onto a clear stretch, clear behind me, and just do a bit of firm braking. And there's a lot of judder comes through the pedal. So this video is about trying to diagnose and fix that problem. If you look, I suspect it's the corrosion in between here which, when I apply the brakes, it's probably giving a little bit. There's not a lot left meat left in between these here. So, and the brake discs are fairly thin anyway, so plan is swap the brake discs and see if that fixes it. So caliper slider bolts to get the main caliper off are 12mm. Nice and easy. And I hope everything comes undone as easily as that. So both those are out now. Just pulling the caliper off. That's the caliper. Rest it there. Now I'll cable tie that up out of the way. Still a fair bit of meat left on the pads. Just prising out the brake pipe from the clip. Just pops out. And then I'm going to tie it up with some wire just to the spring. Two caliper retaining bolts, which are top up here and down there, and they're 18mm socket. It always concerns me when things start to come apart this easy. These just needed a bit of work with a slightly longer bar, but just come straight loose, so that's fine. Before I take those out, so I've slackened off the caliper retaining bolts, but I haven't removed them because this needs to come out, which is the disc retaining bolt. This is T40 Torx. Needs hammering in just to get it clean so I don't strip it. Let's just put in a screwdriver in there. Stop. Alright, so I had to stop filming there because I was going to strip it. It started to twist, so eventually I've hammered it right in and used pressure, and it's cracked. So that's fine. That'll now come out easily. I'm sure lots of people have been like me and stripped these and had to go through drilling them out, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So that's actually come out okay. You can see it's a little bit shiny in the corners there. It's trying to snap strip, but all is good. That's the caliper bracket off. Two bolts slid out with the brake pads. Typically a downpour in the middle of doing this, so I've in the caliper bracket. I've cleaned up with a wire brush down the areas where the pads mount and move. Also taken both slider pins out. Boots are in good condition. The pins are actually really good, really nicely lubricated, nice and clean. So I've just cleaned them both up and then just put a little bit of a silicone lubricant in there, very little touch, just to keep them in good condition. So it's now just a case of trying to loosen off the rust. That was absolutely frozen on the solid, so you can see it's just a 10mm bolt through the bottom hole with a nut on the end. Tighten that down and then just wind it in gradually. So surprisingly now that's off, the hub isn't too bad. I'm going to give that a bit of a clean up. I've given it a quick wire brush off and then put some copper grease on there. Hopefully make it a bit easier to get off next time. That's cleaned up. Line up the hole for the grub screw. That's in. Clean the marks off. So these are coated discs, so they don't come with the normal factory oil, and they even say you don't have to clean them off, but obviously I will anyway. The advantage and the reason I paid just a few extra pounds for the coat disc is they're coated on the inside here, so you're less likely to get that corrosion so quickly in between the two discs themselves in the vented area. Again, snug these down. Take off brake fluid cap, as the piston's going to be pushed back. The level's fairly high in this, so I might need to take some fluid out when I've got the pads replaced. Just leave that off so it's got somewhere to go. So I've reattached the caliper top bolt, wound back the brake calipers using the wind back tool, quite easy to use. Just placing a pad
across the pistons and then working side to side between these two, just pushing it back, and they've gone back nice and easy. Just going to give the end of those a bit of a clean up and a bit of copper grease, and then put the pads on. Touch copper grease on there. Now it's off, you can really see how corroded it is between the two holes of the disc. So I'm hopeful that was just that flexing when I was braking which was causing the vibration under heavy braking, because obviously soft braking isn't compressing it as hard. We'll see. These are the parts I've used, both Comline. The discs are ADC 1110V. They're coated discs. They weren't much more expensive than the cheap non-coated set. And again, the pads are Comline. And there's the number there, CBP01127. Both fitted spot on.
I'm pleased to say, brake discs swapped and new pads fitted. And vibration on firm braking has completely gone, so I think it was clear looking at the state of the middle section between the two disc plates. But that's obviously flexing when I was braking before. Now nice and firm, positive pedal, job done.